So many of us that live with obsessive compulsive disorder have a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, and it's certainly something that's pretty foreign. It's pretty rare that we grew up knowing what OCD is or having friends or family members that we could talk openly about our OCD to. There's often a lot of stigma. But what happens is when we get treatment and we learn how to properly manage our illness, we realize for the first time that we can have a diagnosis of OCD but still live a successful, manageable life full of joy and happiness. And when you realize that, there often comes the second part, which is that we start to accept our illness for what it is. For a lot of years when I lived with OCD, I was stuck in the why. Why do I have OCD? Why did God do this to me? Why do I have to suffer like this? What did I do to deserve this? And really that did nothing positive for me. It made me more angry. It made me more upset. And eventually what happened is I just started to accept having my OCD. And when I accept my OCD, I didn't have to accept the fact, and I still don't accept the fact that my OCD is going to make my life miserable forever, right? I don't have to accept that. But I did have to accept the fact that I live with a chronic mental health condition. I will live with OCD for the rest of my life. The incredible part is that there's wonderful treatment for OCD. So living with OCD doesn't have to be a horrible thing or a horrible sentence. It can be something that's a part of who we are. And what happens is when you accept your illness, sometimes we'll go into that advocacy realm. And advocacy can be one person that we talk to in our life, or it can be on a public or national platform. But what I find is that even if it's just that one person, once you've learned how to manage your OCD, you've gotten proper treatment, and then you start talking about it and you start sharing your experiences with someone else, that's often when some of the greatest healing comes, because for the first time, it feels like there's purpose or meaning behind the pain. And often that purpose or meaning is that we were meant to help someone else. We were meant to give them some light at the end of the tunnel or some inspiration, and it kind of makes it, not to say something we wouldn't want, but it makes it worth it, knowing that you made a difference in someone else's life.